Yo, what's up guys, it's Loza and we're back again because the leaks just keep pouring out. Yes, we've got more cards confirmed. No, it's none of the monsters here, it's this one right here, Keeper of Dragon Magic. Now, Keeper of Dragon Magic is a bit of a controversial card. It's never been very good. From its release, it just didn't quite do enough because you have to discard a card to do its combo, and if you get hand trapped, you've just gone -2 and you just lose the game. It's really sad. However, if it does pop off and you do get the discard and add the poly or the normal fusion spell, now for poly to actually work, you need to be discarding Dark Magician. So you need DM in your hand. If you have DM in your hand, you discard the DM and then you magically can bring it back with this guy's second effect, and then you can activate the poly to fuse. So all in all, is in theory a 2-card Dragoon or a 2-card Dragon Knight, but you need to have Dark Magician in hand and this in hand and not get hand trapped. It's pretty unlikely that all these things happen, and yeah, it feels real bad getting hand trapped on this card because you can't do anything with it after that. It's disappointing because it's such a good artwork. The card was clearly meant to be an awesome Dark Magician card. If we had a way to special it, maybe it would be better. It does say when this card's normal or special. If there was a way for us to special this, that would be amazing. But the other thing is, I guess, it doesn't identify as a Dark Magician card in the sense that it's not searchable by Illusion of Chaos or Soul Servant. So, you know, that's kind of huge as well. It's just not searchable, even though it's clearly meant to be a Dark Magician card. It's basically Armored Timaeus, so I kind of had hope of getting an Armored Timaeus that's not the legendary one, just one like this that helps us with the Timaeus play, but I don't think it's gonna happen now. Anyway, let's have a look at the new spells. Oh, there are no new spells. Oh, wait a second. There's a sneaky one down there. What is it? It's Fusion Deployment. Along with that, we have Eternal Soul, Magician Combination, and Solemn Judgment. Now, obviously, these are trap cards, but I'm just skipping ahead a bit. So now let's have a quick chat about Fusion Deployment. Fusion Deployment is amazing in Branded. In Dark Magician, it summons vanillas and then locks you into fusions. Also, when we were talking about Keeper before, that also locks you into fusion. So there's a lot of cards here that lock you into fusion. A lot of people might think that's okay for Dark Magician, but it's not when you get hand trapped on the cards that either fuse or the cards that, you know, do good things, and then your fusions don't matter. And then you wish you could make a link play at least to pass turn, like going to IP Masquerena, but you can't even do that. So I feel like having the link plays as a backup is always good, whether it's Dark the Dark Charmer or IP. And this card turns those off to summon a vanilla. While in Branded, you can summon literally Albaz, which is huge, or you can summon Blazing Cartesia, which is also huge. So just not quite the same. Maybe we'll get a better fusion card later, but for now, this card's pretty bad. Eternal Soul could be referred to as the bread and or butter of the deck, along with Circle. This card cops a bit of flack because it destroys all our monsters when it leaves the field. So to fix this effect, we have Dark Magician the Dragon Knight to protect it, and have this endless loop of summoning Dark Magician and or Dragon Knights to, you know, have infinite resources essentially every turn. Now, while I don't think Eternal Soul's necessarily a good card, I don't think it's a bad card either. I think it's one of our decent-ish cards. It really sits in the middle, and if you can get Dragon Knight up with this, it's actually pretty good. So to summarize what I'm saying, this is a good card in the structure deck. Well, we just spoke about a good card in the structure deck. Now let's talk about an extremely situational one. Konami identified that Dark Magician players were getting their back row wiped because of Circle and Eternal Soul being so good in the decks. Not to say the Dark Magician's good, but just for the strategy, they do a good job. So they made this card with the hope that it could help you, 1, negate cards, and 2, get some card advantage back. And the card advantage part I'm talking about is this card's last effect. If this face-up card is sent from the spell trap zone to the grave, destroy a card on the field. So your opponent lightning storms, you can flip this and at least pop a card on the field. The problem is when your opponent activates that dust or that lightning storm, they normally haven't played a card yet, so you are not popping anything. And this effect, while it seems good in theory, like cool, destroy a card, like that's a good trade, it just doesn't come up. It just doesn't come up. Now, the good part of this card is, it says if this face-up card is sent from spell trap zone to grave. So Magician Soul sending this to the grave gets you a pop. But it's a trap, so you can't do it on the same turn, if that makes sense. So it's a bit unfortunate. It would have been better if it said this face down or face up card, or just didn't specify, or if it was a spell. If this was a spell, it would actually be pretty good. So let's get into the main effect. Once per turn, when a card or effect is activated, except during the damage step, tribute Dark Magician or Dark Magician Girl, summon the other from hand or grave, why is it not deck, with a different name from the tributed monster, and if you do negate the activated effect. So a lot of people were like, Dark Magician finally has a negate. No, we really don't. Another card that wants us to play Dark Magician Girl, okay, fair enough, but it's doing it in the wrong way. Tribute DM or DMG to summon the other, but only from hand or grave, like that's a big issue. It needs to be from deck to just to begin with. It should be hand deck, grave, deck. I already said deck. Hand deck Grave. Ideally, Banish could be in there too, but you know, well, let's not get too picky. But the fact that this isn't from deck is absolutely ridiculous. So this card basically doesn't see play. I know there's some people say, oh, but Loza, I use it, oh, it's good. But the bottom line is, it's not great. Not a lot of people run it, and there's a reason for that. This card should have been better. The artwork's amazing. It looks like the perfect Dark Magician card artwork-wise. There's Magic Cylinder, DM, GMG, the Tome, Secrets. Like, it just should have been good. It really should have been good. It's very disappointing. This is very random, but very nice. This is actually how you make a negation card. Obviously, it's not DM searchable, but it's just when the opponent does a thing, no. Good. And we do have one new fusion, and that is Dark Magician, the Dragon Knight. And I gotta say, that's a good choice. I was expecting the Dark Magicians, but this is a lot better because if we've got Circle and Eternal Soul and all this crazy back row they're giving us, protecting it is very nice. So that is cool and a good fusion pick by me. But that's the end of the updates for today. Dark Magician, the Dragon Knight's my favorite edition right here. Judgment's cool too, but I think we all have too many printings of that by now. Aside from that, everything else is kind of whatever. But let me know in the comments which card you're excited to see. And what card do you want to see next? We've still got, whoa, quite a lot of monster slots. Still got 9 monster slots. I can't tell if this is a spell or monster slot yet, so potentially more. And there's still a couple of spell slots too, 5 spell slots. I don't think we're getting anything new, but what do you want to see in here? I really want to see Illusion of Chaos and maybe a Preparation of Rites. But aside from that, I don't really know what else I could possibly want since we're only getting 2 fusions as well. Maybe they'll give us the jank stuff like Knight's Title and Dark Magician Knight, but that's maybe too old, but let's wait and see. Anyway, I'll catch us next time. Peace.